Oops, sorry.
Fourscore and 7 years ago. This is what usually pops into people's heads when they think of Abraham Lincoln. However, there was much more to the man than just his most famous speech. There were many extraordinary accomplishments made by Mr. Lincoln before his life was tragically cut short. Throughout his lifetime, Mr. Lincoln would serve 4 terms in the Illinois House of Representatives, 1 term in Congress, and 2 terms as President of the United States. I was dumbfounded to find out that Abraham Lincoln had little to no formal education. He had spent only about 12 to 18 months in any kind of school growing up on the frontier. Later, he began studying law as a hobby. Although almost purely self-educated, Mr. Lincoln managed to pass the bar exam and become a lawyer in 1836. His law practice was quite successful. He would eventually decide to throw himself into politics, the subject that had intrigued him for some time, according to Justin Ewers of the U.S. World News and Report. According to R.J. Norton, creator of Abraham Lincoln Research Site, Mr. Lincoln was a strong supporter of legislation such as the Morrill Act to build colleges or the Homestead Act meant to help poor people in the East receive unclaimed land in the West. Mr. Lincoln also signed the National Banking Act, establishing a national currency as well as helping to establish a string of national banks. Although the Gettysburg Address is Lincoln's most famous speech, he is well recognized for others such as A House Divided and both inaugural addresses. As President of the United States, Lincoln was able to have greater influence on the subject of slavery. Mr. Lincoln first spoke out against slavery in 1837. However, he did not have enough influence to institute change. President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation beginning the process of freeing slaves, as well as allowing them to be soldiers. The most impressive accomplishment, in my opinion, was his ability to hold the Union together during its greatest crisis. As the Commander-in-Chief of the United States, Lincoln would face the greatest of duties, the decision to fight in an effort to preserve the Union. Even in the face of great adversity, President Lincoln showed great composure and character. Despite generals who didn't want to fight, assassination threats, political opposition, President Lincoln kept his composure and managed to lead us through our greatest time of need. Imagine where we might lead